So as I remember, you asked me about finance and nursing, right?
Finance and dentistry.
Okay. I was like, nursing. Okay, so first let's talk about the universities. So both of them, good university, but how much money? So what that is
Mm,
really, actually, that is the matter. So normally we
yes,
have it. You know that when it comes to the University of Chicago, wow, it's top rank, but it's private. How much you need to pay? A lot, very expensive.
yes.
About University of Michigan, that is public. And of course, it's more reasonable. And so first you need to choose which one, but both of them are great. Okay.
Mm,
And about finance, so you know that. So if you want what you mean, what you want, okay, like if you're into, if this is what you really want, okay. So when it comes to finance, we know that for making money in future, of course, financial future. So of course, we would recommend it. Like it's really good, and we can say that you can make more money. But of course, when it comes to like dentistry is perfect. So why not? Of course, I don't want to say that no. So it's about healthcare. So you know that. Of course, your income, good, really good. Of course, it depends. If you are, your starting salary, if you are experienced, of course, that is really important. But I think finance. So as I told you, it depends on her, interest. So which one she's really into. So she wanted, because both of them are great. Okay, I can say which one is better. So I can say that dentistry, can provide higher earning. Okay, and it's I can. It depends on you. But finance is faster earning. Maybe hot about starting finance higher. So you know that when you are not an experienced dentist, of course you can't make lots of money. So starting finance is higher. But of course, when it's called to actually comparison between these two, dentistry is very stable job. That is the point here. I would go for it. If I were your daughter, I would definitely start it because that's really stable. But when it comes to finance, you know that actually market can change. So you will fail, you will lose. So we can say that. And uh, about these two careers, so your lifestyle, if you want to have actually a work-life balance, a good balance in your life, of course, it's better to have to study dentistry because you will actually have a more balanced life. But of course, finance, you know that investing, banking, so actually long hours, I don't know, you need to all the time being updated. So it's a little challenging. So I think that both of them, of course, they offer excellent future, both of them. But depends on your interest. For long-term goal, lifestyle, I would go for dentistry. So I don't know. Of course, if your daughter is someone who can take, take the risk. So of course, about the university, so both of them. But you know that when we say private, it's really large amount of money. It's very expensive. Even if you live in the US, it's very expensive. So I think you, for example, if you want to study in actually University of Chicago, you need to pay. It's about maybe, I'm not sure. So maybe you need to do 100,000 a year. So it's very expensive. But of course, in actually uh, Michigan. So it's like, it's really, really good university. But I think actually the total cost much actually lower. So I think this one is better. So, but both universities are perfect university. As I told you, Michigan comes first. So I told you that day that, I would go for this one because of you know, we need to consider different things, and not only actually the cost that you should pay for university. You know that you have side actually, costs and expenses that you need to pay when living somewhere. So this is my actually opinion, but both are perfect. So of course it depends on your daughter.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're
Um,
welcome. You're
yes,
welcome.
we
So what?
also suggest her to study at the MSU. Yes,
Yeah.
um, because I have my relative, my cousin there, my cousin's family living there, and she's said she welcomed my daughter to go and stayed with her during the university time.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
during the time she studied there. But
Yeah,
then the first time she will go to the dorm, go, she will leave. She will stay there in the dorm,
of
and
course
the
not.
dorm from the second year she can live with my cousin's family.
Yeah, that is really good actually. When you have this option, that is perfect. So again,
Yeah.
because as I told you, we need to consider different,
Mm.
things. It's not only, okay, of course, both of them. So I told you best universities. And I think that it's really, so Michigan is perfect. Why? Because, uh, this university especially, actually, it's renowned. So when it comes to actually University of Michigan, it's renowned. So everyone knows it for really comprehensive dental education. So that is research, it's perfect. So we have two perfect, but of course we need to consider tuition and cost. So that is really important, how much you need to pay. So because you know that if she want to actually study dentistry, so of course it's expensive major. Of course it is. So we need to consider. So if, for example, this one, but I think, yes, it's good choice. And of course you have a chance that she can, stay with your relatives. That is really good. So it's really good to cut cost and
Yeah.
budget. So that's really good. Well,
Okay.
but of course
Thank you.
you should be ready for paying too much. So if she want to
Mm.
study dentistry, of course. So just be ready. So don't get shocked. It's really normal. It's really normal.
Yeah.
We always say, of course, you know that, and it depends. So for example, if you're resident, if you're not resident, so you need to pay, of course, you need to pay more. So that is the point that you need to consider. But just actually I always say that just take a deep breath and be ready for paying, but the future is really good. So she will have a really brilliant future. So don't worry. But and step
Mm-hmm.
year by year, you know that the first year, the second year, you need to pay higher.
Oh, wow.
Ah, of course, but it's not really. No, no, no. Let me say, the first year is cheaper. The second year is higher. Normally, the third and fourth year are the same, and no, there is no difference. But the second year normally is higher than the first year. So,
Mm.
so you should consider this more. You should pay, but actually, the third year and the fourth year, so you don't need to pay. Actually, very different. So they're the same, somehow
Oh.
similar. Yes.
More than
But of course,
100,000
yes. Of course, yes, per year. Definitely, yes.
for one
Definitely,
year.
yes. One,
100,000.
of course, every year. So, for example, I think, I'm not sure because, of course, I haven't studied like dentistry, but I know that the base started 100,000. I think maybe, I'm not sure, maybe 120,000 per year, the first year. Then it goes to maybe 30, 40, 130 or 40,000. But third and fourth are the same, like this price. Yeah, of course, more than one. Yeah. Yeah. Take a deep breath. Really
Yeah.
deep. Yeah. So I know it's so expensive, but there is no other choice. Yeah. You know, when you want to study in some universities, you should know that, of course. Yeah, they offer very good, actually, we can say, it's not like, you know, I don't know, laboratories or, for example, physics and, you know, uh, different and high-tech labs. So, of course, they get more than other universities because, you know, the names, yeah, the history, the name, the background, so all of them perfect. Yes.
Okay.
But
Yes. Thank you.
yeah, okay, you're welcome. Okay, now let's see. Let's get started. Okay, am I recording? Yes, it's okay. Well, let me share the board to see what we have today. Okay. And let's see. Okay. Oh, okay. It was, yeah, invasion of K-pop. I remember that we, yeah, talked about this word. Dedicated. Yes, of
Okay.
course. Yes. And, okay. Well, this word dedicated, as you can see, it's like very hard at something. Because it's very important. So what is this? Looking at the huge, could you please read this?
Dedicated. Yeah, looking at the huge numbers of views on the YouTube, we can easily see that K-pop fans are really dedicated to their idols, especially in terms of voting and streaming.
You know what? They are loyal. If I want to give you a simple synonym, I say loyal. You know, they committed, as I told you. Like, for example, actually, we use this adjective when, like, you know, for example, when someone is a dedicated, so it means I'm loyal or I am committed person. So it can be about, for example, my career or people, okay? So for example, he is a dedicated employee, always working overtime. So I would go for these two words, loyal or committed. Both of them are good, actually, synonyms for this, okay, adjective. Yeah.
Loyal, committed.
Loyal, of course. Yeah. K-pop fans are really loyal to their idols. They support them. They're always there. So like this, okay? They show strong commitment. So this is the meaning of it. Okay, this one, that is adolescent, okay, adolescent, a young person, okay, a young person that is like a teenage or young person, adult, okay, adolescent, a young person who is developing from a child into an adult. So, for example, if I give you age between 13 to 19, so it's like between childhood and adulthood. So this is, yeah. For example, if I want to give you, of course, we use teenager. So between 13 to 19. So we use teenager. So between childhood. So this one. And just, this is a noun. For example, I say the adolescent years can be challenging. Why? Because it's full of emotion. It's full of, I don't know, physical changes. So it's challenging. So this way, or working with maybe adolescents is challenging. So here I'm using two different. First, as like a noun with yours, so can play a role of adjective here, noun, and working with adolescents, that is like, of course, a group of people, teenagers. Well, and
As the majorities of K-pop fans are some as adolescent
yeah,
and adolescent
yeah,
adolescents.
yeah, of course, adolescent, of course.
Adults have also been saying that K-pop just gives distraction to their children, making
Yeah,
them neglect their
yeah,
studies.
neglect.
Neglect.
Actually, yeah, of course, it's really good
Neglect.
word, but let me say it's like formal. So in conversation,
Hormone.
we don't say, of course, we say teen, we say teenager. So
Yeah.
teen or teenager, because you know that it's informal, it's good one. Of course, we use it. It's commonly used, but of course, it's like uh in conversation, we don't go for this type of words like adolescent. So we say teen or teenager. And neglect, this one,
Neglect.
okay, yeah, of course. Ignore, the meaning of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, of course. Skip, ignore.
Neglect.
Yeah,
Neglect. Ignore.
yeah.
Yes.
Ignore, skip. So to skip and
Skip.
well, yeah.
Okay.
The next one,
The
okay,
sky,
this one.
the limit.
Yeah, of course. As you can see, what there is no limit to what somebody can achieve, earn. So could you please read the example?
There is no limit to what someone can achieve or earn to. It is undeniable that Santo MTP is an image artist. The sky's the limit
Yeah,
with the talents like his.
yeah. So
The
it's like,
sky's limit
yeah, the
with the
sky's the
talent.
limit is like the simple meaning, like no limit. There is no limit.
No limit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And actually, yeah, when you wanna suggest just, possibilities, unlimited, just possibilities,
Unlimited.
you use, of course. Yeah. And for example, with your talent, with your dedication, of course, the sky's the limit for your career. There is no limit.
First, example, creation. Someone have created, creative.
Yeah.
Someone
Great.
creative a lot. They can be creative. So we can use the sky's the limit. The
Course, if
sky's
you,
the limit
of course,
with
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
of course. Actually, in
creation.
conversation, yeah, you can use it because it's, why? Because it's motivational. It's, inspirational, actually, idiom. So, for example, with your talent, with your skills, the sky's the limit. So you can use it this way. Yeah, with your talent, with your skills, of course, the sky's the limit. So you can use it this way. And actually, you inspire, you motivate people
Impressive.
this way. Yeah, of course.
Inspiring.
Yeah. Well, and now let's make some sentences using the words.
Um, if uh, if you work hard, um, The sky's the limit.
If you work hard, yes, the sky's the limit, of course. So let me say, if you work hard is good, but if you want to have a casual, so let me say, natural way to say if you work hard, okay, you can say if you put in the work.
If you
put in the work.
Yeah,
of course, yeah. If you, put in the work, the sky's the limit. Yeah, what is that? Put in the work actually is casual, informal, natural way that you can say if you work very hard. Especially when in, motivational speech, you use it. So put in the work, it means if you work hard.
If you work hard,
yeah.
If you put in the work, the sky's the limit.
Yeah,
the sky's the limit. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
And adolescent. I am trying. We are trying to understand adolescent.
We are trying to understand. Okay. Yes, you can say. As I told you, so I don't go for this word. It's like, it's like too formal to be used in conversation, but it's okay. Why not? Yes, you can use it. Well,
Adolescent. Or we can use a teenager.
Of course, teens. Of course, teens is definitely.
Yeah. Teenager. There are a lot of teenagers excellent. Or teenagers are so excellent. Teenagers are excellent. So we are trying to understand them.
Yeah, okay. So, teenagers are really excellent. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, of course. Yeah. So there are a lot of excellent teenagers, or they're excellent. So we work on, So for example, of course, you can say we work on, we try, we are trying, we're doing our best. So we are working on, this is really actually commonly used, especially when talking, when you want to say that I put effort, into something. So it's casual. So we're working on improving our relationship. We're working on, for example, improving our English. We're trying. So
we are working. What?
Work on.
We are working on. We work on.
We try, of course. We are working on, of course, making better actually a relationship, or for example, understanding them. So we are working on understanding. Yeah. Teenagers, of course, to have better relation. Okay. Since they are really excellent, of course. And if you want to use slang, of course, excellent is good. You can also use awesome. Teenagers are so awesome. This is more, slang. So you can use, but it's more slang. Awesome. So you can use, they're so awesome. Yes.
Teenager, awesome.
Are so awesome.
We're working on understand them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to say that, for example, adolescents or teenagers or teens are so awesome. So we're working on, for example, understanding them to having better, just to have better relationship. So this way, of course, as I told you, awesome is like, you know, slang form, so you can use it. But excellent is also natural and good. So
Yes.
I like it. Well,
Delicate. To have the company developed, we need to have a board of um, a board of dedicated director.
okay,
Or
dedicated.
we need a lot of we need dedicated workers or leaders.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes.
No, it's or leaders.
We
Yeah,
leaders
of course. So yeah,
dedicated.
of course you can say. So for example, to help the company or for
To have
example, the business, yeah, of course, to help the company grow, develop, grow, we need actually a team of dedicated, for example, I don't know, people, workers, employees, so
a
employers,
team.
managers, so it depends on you. So to help the company grow, develop, grow is better, develop is a little,
Yes,
you know,
yes,
stays
yes,
a
yes.
little a bit too formal. So we need a team of dedicated,
The team
so
of
maybe
dedicated.
staff. Yeah, staff.
We we need to have a team of dedicated.
We need to have a team of dedicated, okay, dedicated, for example, staff. Employees. Okay, so
Staff.
it depends. Yeah. If you are
Yeah. Okay.
talking about a company, business, of
Yes.
course, you can use it. Yeah,
We
of
need
course,
to
there
a
are,
team of dedicated staffs.
yeah,
Okay.
just staffs know this is not countable. So just staff people, employees. So just this. Yes.
Staff.
Dedicated.
Okay. Yes.
Staff, of course, plural, staff, is singular staff. Yes.
Mm. Mm, commit. Okay. Overnight. She thinks she can overnight famous. Famous of she overnight. Um, uh,
So she thinks she can get famous overnight. This one is better. She
uh-huh.
thinks she can get famous overnight. This one is better.
She thinks
Yeah,
she again.
yeah. And let me say something. I want to give you actually they are very casual. So that is slang. So becoming famous, of course, becoming famous is or popular really fast. So for example, you can use blow up, this one,
Blow up. Yeah.
blow up. This is slang. Okay, what does it mean? For example, she thinks she can blow up and be famous overnight, blow up. And how use it? That is really professional, let me say. Of course, when you say blow up, because this is slang, maybe some people can understand. So you say, she thinks she can blow up and be famous overnight. So actually, you give the meaning of blow up after it. So it's really good way, smart way. Blow up means actually to become famous very quickly, really fast.
She thinks she can blow up and be famous overnight.
Definitely yes.
Mm.
This
Yes,
is a
thank
slang.
you.
You're welcome.
Slang. Yeah. Good night. Fast. Okay. Sensation. Mm. I have sensations of um, I have a sensation that she is telling a lie. She I have sensations that she is telling a lie.
Telling lie. She is
Telling lie. Telling lie.
Well, I have a sensation. Okay. First, sensation is good, but of course, feeling is better. So I have a feeling she's lying. So this one is better. So don't use, what is this? Okay. So I have a,
Telling lie.
oh God. So of course, sensation is good, but this one is better. So I have a feeling she's lying. So this one is better, but it's, of course, yeah. Or,
I
oh,
have a
I get the
feeling.
sense. Let me say, I get the sense. So when you want to say that, I have feeling or I have sensation, I have a feeling that she's lying. Okay. So it's okay. She's lying. It's better. She's telling lie. No. And how to say get the sense? Oh, I get the sense she's not, for example, being honest. She's lying. So I get the sense she's not being honest. She's lying. Both of them. This one is more casual version, get the sense. Yeah. That is another way to
I get the
actually, like,
sense
when you
she's
have
not
some
honest.
feeling inside about something, I get the sense. Yeah.
I get the sense.
Yeah. And if you want to use, so of course, as I told you, all these words are perfect words, okay? But, it depends. So why you want to use them. For example, of course, when you want to, yeah, of course, sensation means feeling. So of course, you can say, I have a strange sensation. I have a weird sensation. Of course, she's not being truthful. She's not. But listen to me. When I want to use sensation, I need to actually make maybe more formal. I have a sensation that she's lying. It's okay. Of course, why not? But feeling is better, more natural. So, yes. Well, and let me say something about sensation before I forget. When it comes to sensation, pay attention that we normally use it, typically, I mean, we use it for actually physical feeling. How to describe it? It's like, for example, temperature, okay? Or when you touch something, you know what I mean? So, and of course, we can also use it when actually describing like feeling, like, I don't know, we use it. But typically, the first use of it is like physical feeling. Like, for example, I can touch something and I can the sensation, like, this one. Yeah. But of course, you can use. Feeling is better. I would go for that one. Yeah, for example, I have a weird sensation she's lying.
Or sensation. I have a normal sensations when I ate the dishes. When I ate the dishes, um, I felt
I have a normal
I
sensation.
have a, yeah, I have a normal I have a strange sensation when I ate that dish or
Yeah,
that food or that food.
it's
Or
okay. It's okay. Of course, it's understandable. But why? Why? So I can't understand why. So let me say, oh, you want to say that? Yeah,
sometimes
regular. Yeah.
sometimes I ate something uh uh unfresh. So I have uh I have uh
So you get
unhurt.
a
Yeah.
weird feeling. You get weird feeling after eating something, for example,
Yeah.
that is not for,
Yeah.
yeah, you get weird feeling. So this one, don't use it. It's a
Get
feeling.
weird.
So, or I
Yes.
got,
Yeah.
for example, I ate something and I got a weird feeling. So that is the meaning of, yeah, since this is natural. Yeah. So this one is better. Yeah. Of course, yours is understandable, but it's like, I don't know, we don't use it. Yeah. So I have a normal, and normal when you want to say, I have a regular feeling when I eat the dishes. So it's normal if you want to say normal. If no, you have something that's new, like weird, you can say, I get weird feeling after, for example, eating fish, for example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That is unusual, weird, unusual feeling. Yeah. Well, and just don't forget when you refer specific actually type of food, you can use the meal or for example, the food. When you say dish, dish is more general, okay? Some dishes is okay. So for
Some
example, after
dishes.
eating some dishes, I get
Okay.
weird feeling, okay? But if you refer to specific type of it, meal or for example, food is better, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay. So just I'm changing the book. So if I write this book again, so no, these words are really good because we need them, especially so we have IELTS, we have writing, we have formal language. So of course we use them. But of course, when you talk to people, if you travel, you don't need to use all of them. Just, make it more natural. Yeah, of course. Well, and okay, let's see what we have. Uh, a video. So one moment. Okay, if I can find this video of BTS and you don't like them, but let me see.
BTS became an overnight success right after
Okay,
they debuted in
okay.
amazing adorable
The
representations
fame
for
of
music. They first won
BTS.
Billboard Music and were loved by the social conscious music.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, the music blood, sweat, and tear.
I think we have something that is good. I think this one is good. Let me check it. Ready? Let me
Can I
share.
see anything?
Of course, because I'm not sharing.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's okay now because you were reading. Okay.
Time magazine named BTS one of the 25 most influential people on the internet. Guinness World Records
Okay.
added the K-pop group to
Let
their
me turn the subtitle on for you. If you feel like it's too fast, I can adjust to speed. Too fast or no?
But I cannot see the
I'm sharing.
sharing. You're sharing?
Let me
You're
share it
sharing?
again. Wait,
Okay.
this one, and this one. How about now? Can you see?
Now I see you.
I can't do anything
I
about
still
it.
see you.
Yeah, it's like maybe you need to check your connection. So or you should wait. Sometimes it happens if you have poor connection. So it happens. It actually you can see with delay.
Just let me.
Of course.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's okay.
Okay.
Well, now let's see. Okay.
2018 Time magazine named BTS one of the 25 most influential people on the internet. Guinness World Records added the K-pop group to their 2018 edition for amassing the world's most Twitter engagement of any music group. And they received more likes and retweets than any other celebrity, beating out US President Donald Trump and Justin Bieber combined, allowing BTS to become the most tweeted about celebrity in 2017 with 502 million tweets. Wow, can you imagine their Twitter feed? Hey everyone, I'm Denise Salcedo with The Trendy. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard of the Korean pop sensation BTS. The boy band that has stolen the hearts of many all across the globe has also gone mainstream. Here is a timeline of the rise of BTS. The early years. As you know, at the start of 2010, Big Hit Entertainment began auditions to find the perfect members for a new K-pop group. The lineup for the group had seen different phases, but by 2012, the 7-member group had been established with Jin, Suga, J-Hope, RM, Jimin, V, and Jungkook. However, before their official debut, the boys began building a connection with their fans by introducing themselves via video blogs, YouTube covers, SoundCloud, and they even launched their Twitter account at the latter end of the year. BTS debut. Come 2013, BTS made their official debut with their first single album, Too Cool for School. The album peaked at number 5 on the J-On album chart and sold over 105,000 copies. No More Dream was their first single as well as music video. During this time, BTS expanded to Japan and released the second part of their school trilogy. The 10-track album sold 120,000 copies. And by the end of the year, the group would be taking home the 2013 Best New Artist Award at the Melon Music Awards, a major music award show held annually in South Korea. Making moves. BTS kicked off 2014 by releasing a lot of new music. It's safe to say the boys were hard at work, and this was only a pre-header. They released the final part of their school trilogy, School Love Affair, which ended up selling over 200,000 copies and peaked at number 3 on the Billboard's World Albums chart. And then they released their first Korean studio album, Dark and Wild, which peaked at number 2 on the J-On chart, selling 200,000 copies. Alright, and that's not even close to being it. The group also released their Japanese studio album, Wake Up. I mean, my mind is blown. How did they have the time for all of this? Touring and more music. 2015 was no different for BTS. They toured Japan for the first time with their Wake Up, Open Your Eyes tour. And then an awesome thing happened this year. The group made it on to Fuse's 27 best albums of 2015 so far, with their third EP, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life Part 1. Their second single off this EP, Dope, became their first music video to hit 100 million views on YouTube, and it also peaked at number 3 on Billboard's World Digital Songs chart. This was also the year they became brand ambassadors for Puma. Artist of the Year. And in 2016, they scored their first number 1 hit on the weekly J-On digital chart. First, they released their second studio album, Youth, and back in Korea, they released their second studio album, Wings. Their single from Wings, Blood, Sweat, and Tears was the one that landed them that number 1 hit on the J-On chart, but that's not it. The music video also broke 6 million views in 24 hours. And with all of these hits, it was no surprise that the group would take home Artist of the Year for the 2016 Mnet Asian Music Awards. Breaking records. In 2017, BTS embarked on their live trilogy episode 3, The Wings Tour, and they also released their 5th EP, Love Yourself, Her. And this time, they broke even more records. Their single DNA went number 2 on the weekly J-On digital chart. The music video hit 20 million views on YouTube within the first 24 hours, and it landed them their very first entry on the Billboard Hot 100, making BTS the first K-pop boy band and the second Korean act with a Korean language song to do so. Mic Drop, which is the remix of the song by Steve Aoki and Designer, was released as a second single, becoming BTS's first top 40 entry for a K-pop group on the Billboard Hot 100. During this time, BTS was on every headline. Even if you didn't know about the group, you knew their name because you couldn't log on to social media without hearing about them. So when the American Music Awards rolled around, it made sense that they were announced as performers. And just like that, they became the first K-pop group to perform on the award show. Oh, and they also won Artist of the Year for a second time at the 2017 Mnet Asian Music Awards. I mean, no big deal, right? The group was also invited to perform at Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve show, making them again the first K-pop act, a part of the show's lineup. By the end of 2017, BTS would become the first Korean artist to enter Spotify's global top 50 and were guests on Ellen DeGeneres, Jimmy Kimmel Live, The Late Late Show with James Corden, and music station Super Live in Japan. And as mentioned earlier, BTS would be 2017's most tweeted celebrity and the celebrity with the most engagement. So it's safe to say that 2017 was the year of BTS. The present. Well, 2017 is over, but that doesn't mean BTS is. Already just a few months into the new year, and the group's song Mic Drop and DNA were certified gold, making them the first Korean act and only K-pop artist to do so. They were also on the cover of Billboard magazine. And J-Hope, BTS's lead rapper and dancer, has rocked the socks off the fandom with the recent release of his 7-track solo mixtape Hope World. And he even released a music video for his track Daydream that within just a few hours of its release, Hope World has already topped the real-time iTunes chart in 63 different countries, the most for any Korean solo artist. And just after a day of the Daydream music video being up, it has already garnered over 13 million views and 2 million likes. Alright, BTS Army, in the comments below, let us know what you thought of J-Hope's solo mixtape Hope World and what you hope to see.
Wow, BTS. So you see how famous they are. Of course, so everywhere. So like, so famous. And they're so cute. Good, handsome.
I regret I didn't listen to any album.
Do you want to see?
BTS? No, I can search and
of
on
course
YouTube.
Search. Yeah, of course you just search and you can watch. Yes, they are good. They're really good, and they are actually not only good. Let me say different factors. That is the point. They're handsome. So of course teenagers, yes, especially girls, of course they're obsessed with, I don't know, the look. So this is the first one. Of course, so energetic, and of course they show good performances, so very strong, good. And of course, and what is the reason? For example, as you just saw different TV shows, Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know, Ellen DeGeneres, and like, different shows in the US. Why? Even actually they met Donald Trump. No, it's not Donald Trump, and maybe maybe it was Donald Trump, maybe, or Barack Obama. So I'm not sure. So yes, I remember that. And so why? Because they have tons of actually like followers and army. They call them army all around the world. So that is the reason everyone, maybe every country, because it affects. So like, concert, and I think that they are really successful at what they're doing. So let me share the board again. Well, okay, so BTS became an overnight success right after their debut in 2013. Is it? No, it's false. Not one night. As we just watched, of course, step by step. But yeah, the debut was perfect. But of course, they started. And
2013.
Of course, like, and ARMY, or ARMY, ARMY stands for Adorable Representative for MC Youth. Is it true?
No.
Yes, adorable. Yes.
Another, not ARMY.
ARMY is actually their fans. Their fans are called armies. Yeah, fans. Of course. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. And the next one?
The first one, Billboard.
Award in
the first one, Billboard Music Awards. Maybe
no,
2016.
I think so. Yes, of course. And BTS is well loved by
their social conscious music?
Socially
And
conscious, of course, like, you know,
socially conscious. Conscious?
yeah.
What does it mean, conscious?
Aware, conscious, aware, socially
Aware.
conscious, yeah, of course.
Sure.
Yeah. Like, you know, for example, actually, they are aware of social issues, you know, problems, like, you know, they are aware, they know, they're concerned about, you know, so about power, like, you know, poverty, inequality, I don't know, racism, LGBT, so different things, yes. So that is social conscious, socially conscious, that is like social issues. They are concerned about social issues. And their blood, sweat, and tears, okay, references and showcases a few famous American painting. I'm not sure. I didn't see this. I'm not sure about this. Yeah, of course. Maybe, I'm not sure. And they have already collaborated with Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift. Not Nicki Minaj. No, I've never seen them with Nicki Minaj. No, I've never seen them with Nicki Minaj. No, 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 it's not because I know this. No, it's not. Okay, well, and it's about BTS and K-pop. Of course, that is really important. Yeah, how you can be, because as I actually, as I know, there are different K-pop bands, especially, so some of them are really famous. It's not only, we have Blackpink, another girl group, so it's girl band. So, of course, not all of them, as I know, not all of them are Korean. So, for example, I think Lisa is really beautiful, and I'm not sure, maybe is from Thailand or Vietnam. I'm not sure. I don't know, but she's so beautiful. And so they are really, as well as actually BTS, they're also really famous.
BTS,
So
famous
yeah,
K-pop,
Blackpink
getting more
and
and more popular.
yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, and now let's see. Let's answer this question. Why is K-pop getting more and more popular, you think? So you can read the question.
Why the K-pop getting more and more popular? Because they're young. They looked, they have a good looking. And they're famous because of one of the most important thing to make them popular, more and more popular, is social media and YouTube. Maybe in the past there are a lot of bands, boy bands or girl bands, were popular or were famous, but they don't have social media to help them more popular. Maybe now they K-pops have the technology help to make them more and more popular.
Yes, maybe, of course. So they're getting more and more popular, as you said, because maybe they're young, of course, good
And
looking.
the fan,
yeah.
And their fans their fans are teenage, are the young people. They use social media a lot. They spend a lot of they spend much time they spend a lot of times for media
Yeah, to spend a lot of time on social media. Yes, of course. Well, just about your answer. So now you can use just, for example, become famous, blow up. Do you remember? Now you can use it. It's a good one. So you can, yeah, of course. Now you can use it. It's a good one. Yeah, of course, they're good looking, they're young. And one of the biggest things maybe that's making them even more popular is, of course, social media, as you said, and YouTube. Maybe in the past, as you said, yeah, there were a lot of boy and girls bands, but they were famous. But actually, there was no social media. So to help them get even more popular, so social media helped them actually get more popular, and so getting more and more. So we can use that as like getting more and more or get more popular. So it's like the verb get is really good one and you can use. Well, and of course, their fans are mostly teenagers and young people who spend a lot of time on social media. So the preposition on should be so mostly and on. Yeah. And what are the influences of K-pop on Vietnamese young people?
Yes. Yes. What are the influence K-pop Vietnamese young people? Um, Young people are influenced their dressing, their culture, their performance on the stage. They can, yes, I don't know much because I am not interested in BTS, but I know a lot of people love K-pop much. They can spend a lot of money to buy the ticket to the concert for their concerts, and they stayed late to watch the K-pop's videos. They neglect their studies. Neglect their studies, and they are influenced a lot by their clothes, their dancing.
Yeah, okay, very good. Well, let me give you some good phrases that you can use. Well, of course, it was good. So yes, you said that they are influenced, especially so their fans and young people are influenced by the way they are influenced by the way, for example, celebrities dress or their culture, as you said, and how you said dance and say, and how they perform actually on stages. Okay, yeah, of course. This one is actually smoother, more natural. And you said that I'm not interested in, say I'm not into. I'm not
not
into, for example, BTS. And for example, if you want to say that, I don't know, some groups, some bands like this, that stuff. Like, okay, when you are, yeah, when you are talking, it's a casual way. For example, I'm not into this and that stuff, you know, this category I'm in, okay? And a lot of people, you can say that tons of people, of course, you can also use this, okay? Or they love K-pop. They're obsessed with K-pop, obsessed with. And of course, they're willing to spend a lot of money, okay, on concert tickets. Yeah, okay. Just to see their favorite idols. Just to see their favorite idols. And of course, so about your country, so these days, teenagers, they actually, we can say, you said that they watch K-pop videos. Of course, you can say they watch, but you can also say, especially some teens get, the verb get is really good verb. We normally get so into watching. So let me write it. Get so into watching. Okay, into watching their videos, and of course they're really influenced by fashion and dance moves, for example. Just get into the meaning of it. Actually, this one is really good, casual. Of course, that is very interested, like I'm into. Very interested in watching. And of course, they're influenced by dance moves. What they do, so
Dance
they
move,
try
yeah.
to imitate. Of course, they try to imitate.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, of course.
Dance move.
Yeah,
Dance move.
yeah. And well, let's see.
Okay.
Well, and the next one.
Do you think the K-pop has a huge impact on the music industry in
Min,
Vietnam?
can I ask you one moment? I need to check
Yes.
something. Can I ask? Thank you. Could you please?
Do you think that K-pop has a huge impact on the music industry in Vietnam? Definitely, a lot of artists start to collaborate with Korean producers. Many songs about in this brand of music, change the way music video are filmed, and choreography is
Thank
highlighted.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome. I still enjoy in this valley. Our artists are created in their way, create their own color without imitating. Anyone. Yes, I think so. K-pop has a huge impact on the music industry in Vietnam. In particular, the young artists in Vietnam. There are a lot of artists, Vietnamese artists, start to collaborate with Korean artists and producers. they transfer or they make a Vietnamese songs from the original Korean music. They change the words, change the lyric with on the Korean music, and some of them come to Korea to make a film or to make videos in Korean with the Korean nature. Um, yeah, and they have I watch TV. I watch a lot of shows with Korean artists. Yeah, singing along with Vietnamese singers.
Yes, very good. So you mean they shoot music videos?
Yeah.
Or they act, maybe. So, or for
they
example,
should.
yeah, of course, they act in films. So you can use both of them. So what is this when you want to say that they make, yeah, make a film or
Yeah.
make a music video? Of course, this is the better. They shoot music videos, or for example, they act in films. Well, yes. So you can say that K-pop has actually a huge impact. I like this word. Yeah, of course, in music industry, of course, in your country and maybe other countries, especially on young artists. So
Especially.
yeah, of course, they're starting actually a lot of them are starting to collaborate, as you said, with Korean artists, okay, to produce or like maybe and producers or to produce like films or music videos. And of course, I don't know, you said that some Vietnamese actually they remake, okay, actually original Korean music and they change lyrics, you said?
Yes, they made
So
the
they remake
lyric,
with,
Vietnamese lyric on
of course,
the
so they remake, okay, yeah, got it. They remake, of course, just Vietnamese songs, okay, using actually original Korean music. Of course, they change lyrics. They change lyrics. And of course, they, like, for example, they go to Korea to shoot music videos and of course, to act in films. Yeah. Well, so K-pop. Yeah. And we see that some, for example, Korean artists perform, okay, with Vietnamese singers. They perform with Vietnamese, perform with Vietnamese singers. Yeah, you can say it this way. Well, and the last one. Do you think South Korea is successful in exporting their culture to the world?
Yes. I definitely think I think the South Korea is successful in exporting their culture to the world. Through the music, K-pop music and Korean movies. They can they can they can sell they can sell the dress clothes, a Korean style clothes and cosmetic.
Cosmetic, of course. Yes.
And
And
many many tourists come to South Korean to for tourism.
yeah, of course. So you can say that.
To, yeah.
And you, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. We travel to?
Yeah, a lot of people travel to South Korea because of the sightseeing. They watch a lot of beautiful sightseeing in the movies, music movies, and film.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course. So in summary, you think that South Korea has done a great job, exporting its culture. Yeah, of course. Yeah, this one, of course, exporting its culture to actually different countries, and through actually K-pop and Korean movies. So through, yeah, K-pop and of course Korean films, and to show. So like actually this made Korean style fashion. So we can say Korean style fashion, and of course cosmetics, as you said, super popular. Yeah, super popular. Okay, Korean style fashion, so you can see everywhere. They're really trendy in some countries, especially. They're really trendy. Well, okay, and that's it. And the last question. Every year, around 100 K-pop idol groups are debuted, launched, introduced. Okay. However, only few of them can gain the recognition from the public. Imagine your child wanted to audition for a K-pop group. Would you agree him or her to do? Why? This is the last question that you can think of it. And of course, you can send me your answer, just because there are some negative sides. And actually, this market, actually, we get some news how companies actually maybe affect and change celebrities and K-pop idols lifestyles. Even actually they cause injuries, hurt, damage, though, like this. So we need to talk about it. You can think, and of course send me your answer. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And of course, 3 days to your Independence Day. So happy Independence Day to you. That is really big celebration in your country, and I know. And have a great time with family and enjoy your vacation. So happy Independence Day. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Thank you so much. Goodbye, you too. Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Bye.